Today on the grid, our topic is, well, we don't really have a topic. It's open Q&A day, but our in-studio guest is fabulous British superstar Dave Clayton. We've got lots of giveaways today. The Kuna man, Canaham, is here, the real Rocket Man. We've got some very cool giveaways for some folks watching the show live. It is going to be, and I predict this, I predicted this before, but this time I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fun day on the grid. And when does this merriment start with British superstar Dave Clayton? Why, it all starts in just 23.2 seconds. Let's go! The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Well, hey, everybody. You can see Scott is here, but he's not here. Scott's coming live from the home studio all the way down the street. Hey, Scott.
Hey, what's up? Look at that, Dave Clayton, all the way from, where is that place? Swingdon.
Yeah. It's never been called that before.
Oh, yes, it has. Oh, we call it that all the time.
Yeah. When you come and visit.
Yes, just before we went on the air, Dave was telling us about the train he's going to get on here in America, and we kind of warned him, our train system is not like your train system over in the UK.
Oh, yeah, he said, I'm taking the train to Orlando, and we're like,
good luck.
You're doing what?
Well, it was that or the Greyhound bus, and I know on the Greyhound bus they smell your feet while you sleep. So,
you're going to be begging for people to smell your feet when you're on the train. This is a true story. So I thought, this is dumb, but I thought at some point that I would do something romantic for my wife and that I would take her on a train trip because it sounds romantic, right? Mm-hmm. We would do a train trip. We would go up to, I forget where we were going, like Gainesville or Tallahassee or Jacksonville or something. We would have dinner there and take a train back. This is a true story. So I tell my wife about it, and she's like, oh, my God, that sounds so romantic, and I've got flowers, and I got snacks for the ride and all this. It's going to be a fun romantic, and we got as nice of a car as we could, private car as we could get. We get on the train, and we get seated, and the car we were in was so filthy that we went to the conductor and said, can we get off the train? He said, you don't have to take the train. And we got off and just went to dinner. We got on the train, Amtrak. Got on the train. We're not on for 3 minutes, and we got off. I forfeited the tickets.
Oh well,
and that was it.
Now wait a minute. Are you taking the new? Is it called Brightline? Are you taking the Brightline?
I have no clue.
Now the Brightline is brand new. It's brand new.
I just went on the website.
I don't know. That could be.
Yeah, so you could go. So this is interesting. So they built, Dave, you wouldn't know this because you're a foreign man from a foreign land. But they built a new high-speed rail, a very nice one, from Orlando down to numerous stops in South Florida all the way to Miami. However, it takes the exact same amount of time to drive it as it does to take the Brightline. But it's quite expensive as well. It takes 3 hours to drive from Orlando to Miami-ish, and it takes 3 hours on the Brightline, and it's a high-speed train.
Well, I'm
still waiting for them to explain that.
Yeah. 2 hours from Tampa to Orlando, and it's cost me $12. So I'm expecting high luxury, speed,
$12,
a full buffet.
I mean, you're putting your life into your own.
Yeah, it does not have a full buffet.
Wow.
I live dangerously. What can I say? When in Florida.
Yeah, you're going to become a Florida man.
I can't wait to hear this story. When this is done, I cannot wait to hear your story of this trip. It is going to be epic.
Read my eulogy afterwards, won't you?
Well, guys, we are here.
I don't think you'll die, but you'll probably get very sick.
Yeah, so we're here not to just talk about trains today, but about anything to do with photography, design, anything like that. We've got an open Q&A today. But before we get to that, Scott, we got to give away some prizes. And we've got some announcements. So this week on the show, we're giving away a bunch of prizes. As you know, we love to do that. We're giving away your book, Scott, the How Do I Do That in Photoshop book. So we're giving that away. You can get that over on Amazon. We're also going to give away the Adobe Photoshop book for digital photographers. So we're going to give that away. You can get that over on Amazon as well, but somebody's going to win it on the show today. And we're giving away a Platypod gooseneck. These are cool because you can attach them to your Platypod and then attach a light to it just like that, like you see there. So somebody's going to win that as well. And then we're going to give away a copy of On1 No Noise 2023. Even though it's 2024, 2023.5, I know a new version might be coming out soon. Who knows? I might know. But anyways, might coming out. But it's definitely awesome. This is a great plugin for removing noise and adding sharpening, something you want to add to your arsenal if you do that kind of work. And then we're going to give away a copy of Retouch for Me's Skin Tone app. This is a great tool. I don't know if you've seen this, Dave, but it's a great tool for retouching your photos. It goes right inside of Photoshop. It's a plugin and all AI based, but it creates these masks inside there, right? And they are incredible. It is really cool. They actually were on the show a couple months ago. If you want to go back and check it out, because
this stuff's nuts,
amazing.
I'd like to see it work on my skin.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's impressive. It might be up to the task. We'll have to see. Everybody can get a discount on that though. Just enter that promo code Kelby120. That's KelbyOne20 at the website www.promo.retouch4.me, and everybody can get 20% off. And that's what we have today. So a lot of prizes that you can win.
V-flat.
Oh, we do have one more. Yeah. We got a V-flat world. I can't forget about the V-flat. These things are great because they fold up real nice. You can put them right in your trunk, your back seat. Usually you can't take these things out onto shoots because they're so big. But that's what's great about the V-flats from V-flat world, is they fold up nice. So somebody's going to win that. That does have to be a U.S. shipping address only. So, I mean, Dave, you can win if you can get it shipped to a U.S. shipping address here. So
I'll take it on the flight back.
Yeah, there you
go.
Just
carry it above my head.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody can get a discount on that. Just use the code Kelby10 at checkout to get 10% off. But hey, we got the other thing, Scott, is we got a couple announcements. You're going to be at Photoclave coming up, right? So we got that conference.
Photoclave, I think. Yes, Photoclave. I'm going to be there in just a few weeks. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm doing a keynote and some sessions all on travel photography, which is near and dear to my heart. So I'm very, very excited about that. And then after that, I'm headed to the UK, to the land of Dave Clayton, where the Dave Claytons roam free. And I will be at the photography show, and Dave Clayton will be there. In fact, how I ever wound up, even the first time at the photography show, was with the help of one Mr. Dave Clayton. So thank you, Dave. It is a wonderful show. I spoke there a number of years ago, and I'm very excited to be back. I have a discount code that you can use for 20% off your tickets. So if you're going to go, here's the code. Ready? It is SPK, as in Sam, Paul, Karen, TP, as in
TPS.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
And then S. Oh, it's TPS. Yeah. There we go. SPK TPS 24. So it's SPK TPS 24. Now that code expires on March 14th, but it applies to the standard adult entry. Now, here's something that's interesting. If you are a pro, if you're a professional working pro, you can apply for free entry. So go to their site, which is photographyshow.com. It's just photographyshow.com. And if you're a pro, you can apply and go for free. But if you're not a full-time working pro, you can still use that code for 20% off, SPK TPS 24.
And that stands for Scott Pro Kelby, the Photography Show 24.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
And just a little interesting thing that not many people know. Apart from the fact I've worked for the photography show now this would be my 9th year, I think. And when Scott came over before, he held the record for the fastest selling speaker on the Superstage.
Nice.
Up against people like David Bailey.
Look at that.
Pete Souza. We've had some really big names there, and Scott's session sold out the fastest.
And that's why you got the P in there.
Yeah.
You got the Scott Pro Kelby.
That's what the P is for.
So that's what we're bringing him back.
Yeah.
Right,
we also have another conference. We've got the iPhone photography conference coming up at the end of the month. This one's going to be great. All about how to master your iPhone. Every courses from landscapes to portraits to just settings. Some stuff of just how to share and workflows. There's a plethora of instructors there.
Plethora.
Yes, I'm very excited. We even have Russell Brown, who he is like the master at this, how to do portrait photography, especially with Flash.
Is he good.
His stuff is amazing. So he's going to be teaching class. We've got just a tons of people. Jefferson. We've got Rick Salmon. Glenn Dewis. We've got the whole list of them. Which you can just go over to the website. It's at KelbyOneLive.com and see that and check it out. So we've got that coming up. It's coming up February 27th and 28th. So check that over at KelbyOne.live.com. And then what else do we have? Scott, workshop. We got a workshop, right?
Yeah, we got workshops. So my Budapest workshop is sold out, but we're about to make tickets available for our me and Erik Kuna, the Kuna Man, the Rocket Man, in the island of Santorini, Greece.
What? Wait a minute, that was a curveball. Because I was expecting, earlier we had talked about possibly going to Iceland. We found some little snags with that plan, so we switched it up. And it's going to be over
May 14th through 17th. Yeah. We're going to be in Santorini, Greece. We're going to tickets will be available very soon, hopefully by next week. And the last one, Budapest, sold out in 12 hours. So if you want to get a ticket to this, make sure that you're on my workshop mailing list.
Yeah, and if you go to the bottom of the page there, go to the bottom of the page.
Go to the bottom of the page. You can get on the list.
Sign up list.
It's way down there. There it is, the advance notice, and you'll know before the public, so you'll get a direct link to the sign-up thing without the public even getting a chance. And then it will open it to the public after that if there's any spots left. But it's going to be great. It is such an amazing place, Santorini. I got to go there one time already, and all I've wanted to do is go back since I've been there. It's almost like they said, let's make an island for photographers. And that's
the other thing.
We have a great hotel, great hotel.
But another thing, Scott, that I think people don't know about your workshops, and this is the thing that just separates it from everybody else, is it is a workshop. It is an experience where you are going not only to experience this great culture and take these great pictures, but we are working and figuring out and mastering how to really take amazing travel photography pictures, and you come away with not only that experience, but with the work to show it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of times, I know Scott and I talked about that when we, create workshops, is like, we don't want people to just be like most workshops, I don't call them workshops, they're photo tours.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you around, I'm going to shoot alongside you, and we're just going to go to cool places. Where this is more like, we're not shooting, we're helping people get the shots. We're helping people, but not only getting the shots, but then doing the thing that we do best, and that is the Photoshop and the Lightroom stuff and all the design stuff.
And the composition, the location, knowing the cool angles to get that. Like I'm sure Scott's, when he's been out and shot somewhere, there's 30 other people all taking the same photo. So it's like teaching people to look at it from a different angle. Oh, yeah. I'm not even a photographer, and whenever I see these workshops, I think I want to go on one just because it looks like it'd be so much fun. But
they're a blast.
I operate a camera like it's an Amtrak train.
No way. No. You'd be amazed. I mean, that's what last year. So I do a Milky Way workshop as well. So and which mine took 6 days to sell out. Not. What was yours? 12 hours, you said, Scott? Yeah. 12 hours. That's a record right there. That's something that we need to get a little P in his promo thing for. But last year on our Milky Way workshop, we had a participant that was 83 years old, and the excitement that he had like, well, not only that, just never seen really the Milky Way as clearly, being able to talk about, but he was the most enthusiastic, the energy that he brought to the thing. But it was just that being able to experience that even at 83 and do that. And that's where it's an amazing thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just you've got to put in that effort and go out and do it. And I'm sure you could do it too.
I'm sure I could. You've got to invest in yourself. I say this about events and everything, is don't look at it as it costs this much. It's just think of it as how much do I want to invest in me becoming a better photographer and have an experience that I can talk about and come away with photos that I'd be proud of that I wouldn't have got if I didn't have first-class people on hand to help me. And then from what I've seen, from what Scott said, is the attendees all help each other as well. And because it's only 12 people, it makes it...
It's very intimate.
Yeah, very intimate. Very intimate with Scott.
It's intimate.
Yes.
No, naughty.
Really
when Dave says it, I don't know why it sounds naughty. But no, it's we have a wonderful time. We have great food. We have great fun. We learn a lot, and we come home with amazing pictures. So the whole thing, it's a great experience, and we work. It's Erik said it. It's not a photo tour. It's a workshop. We work you. Everybody's exhausted when they come home, but it's a great time. It really is. Everybody has a lovely time, and we make new friends, and it's great. I can't wait for this. The most fun thing I get to do all year. And Santorini, I've been wanting to go back there ever since the last time I was there. I'm like, I just want to come here and spend some time, and it's going to be great. And we're also going to, the plans are to visit another nearby island as well. So we'll be doing both. So not just Santorini. But I'm excited. Psyched. We got a great hotel. We got a great classroom. We're all set up. We just got to get there. It's May.
Yeah. So make sure you get on that list.
Yeah.
Get notified. All right, so
hey, can I? Are we on to topics? Because I have a question.
Yeah. Got a question.
All right, my question is for Nikon and Canon and Sony. So OM Systems beat you again. OM Systems released a camera yesterday with a built-in neutral density gradient filter. Built in.
Yeah, you know what, Scott? What's interesting? My new phone has a built-in neutral density gradient filter. Would you believe that?
Really?
Yeah. My new Samsung phone has a neutral density gradient filter.
So
where are you, Apple? Where are you, Apple? Come on. I love the Apple. But honestly, keep up with it. Keep up with it. They all both got titanium, but that's all they got is titanium. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Give me the neutral density filter.
So long story short, how is it that these,
I'm with you.
Innovating, right? Apple does in-camera long exposures and all this different stuff and all. And Nikon and Canon and Sony are like, it's 6 more megapixels. It shoots more frames per second. Like, oh, God, please put something in there useful. We need an ND. We need we actually need, here's the thing. The neutral density gradient filter is the filter we actually need the least. I don't even use them anymore.
No.
That is something that's actually better. Most things are better on camera, except for neutral density gradients. It's actually better to do it in Lightroom or in Camera Raw than it is to do it in real life, because of the fact that I'm not going to go into it. I've talked about it many times on the grid, and I've shown why. In fact, we had a topic, didn't we? Erik, we did
we talked about
most useless filters and ND. Gradient.
It's a great a neutral density filter is a must, right? For us, that's a must. And I do like the computational neutral density filter, because the computational, and I have been using it for years on iPhone, but it takes that third-party app like even longer or something like that to do that feature. But it's just cool to see people like the OM Systems, or you've got the Samsung, and starting to catch up with the times of going, like, everybody wants this, so let's put it in the phone, because all it's doing is doing the same averaging you could do inside of Photoshop.
Yeah.
So you could do the math inside of Photoshop if you took thousands of pictures and averaged together the neutral density. You could do that in Photoshop. I mean, if you want to do it, but these cameras are doing it in camera. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Yeah.
Hey, can you go one up on Erik? I need to clean my camera thing. My camera looks fuzzy.
It is. It's got some fuzz on it.
Yeah, it's like I have a cleaning cloth here. I keep right here at my rig here. Let's see. Is that better? See, is that better?
Yes, that's better.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
It is better. It is better.
It's better. Also, I don't like my color tone. It's. I got this light here.
Yeah. Well, you're having a problem too with your exposure control, right? So you got the exposure control because you got the window back there. But
yeah, I got all kinds of bad stuff, but I
okay.
don't like this color.
Yeah, you got to change the temperature.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the temperature. I got temperature control.
Well, you know
right
what?
here.
We got to take a break. When
no,
we
I
come
want to
back
do it
from a break.
I want to do it while
Okay.
I'm on camera. You're messing up my groove here.
But hey, when we come back from this break, and once he adjusts his camera, we're going to be answering your question. I can't see you.
Am I better?
Can't see you. They switched.
Oh, show me now.
There you go. Yeah, that's
color's
better. That's better. Yeah.
But you guys are like nice and red.
It's still a little bit too punchy. You know, it's kind of drowning out.
All I can do on this thing is either warm or cool.
Okay.
it doesn't have add red.
Yeah.
You know?
I would just rely on your personality
but
at
you
this
know
point.
what? I like that you can just pick it up. You know, just move it around and shoot it different directions.
That makes the lighting so much better when you move it around while you're talking.
Yeah, I like that. It's
kind of like
movable. It's
wild
mobile.
card.
It's mobile lighting.
Wild card. All right, so when we come back, like I was saying, when we come back, we're going to be answering your questions. So make sure you ask your questions. Anything you want to know about photography, Photoshop, design, whatever. We'll be talking about that. We'll actually also be talking about why Dave's in town.
Yeah.
Not just to take a train.
Because I want to ride the Amtrak.
$10.
You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Tested by devotion. Loving is devotion. Ooh, that's sugar.
Hello, I'm Kelly Jones for KelbyOne. I'm a certified underwater photography instructor. We're here on location in San Pedro, Belize. We're at Chuck and Robbie's dive shop. Yesterday they took us to Mermaid's Lair, a beautiful dive site. We got some great photographs, got some great sharks as soon as we got in the water. We got some horse-eyed jacks that I love, all kinds of different animals to see. Have you ever wanted to be an underwater photographer? Have you ever wanted to get in the water and capture all that beautiful marine life that lives under the sea that most people never see? Here's your chance to learn how to do it. So we're going to get you in the water. We're going to show you some compositional techniques. We're going to show you lights, when to use lights, when not to use lights. We're going to teach what cameras to use, some underwater photography rules to break. We're going to have a great time. You will be an underwater photographer when you finish this class. And what's the whole objective of being an underwater photographer? To impress your friends, of course. I worked hard putting this class together for you. Let's go do it. So come join me for my latest class on KelbyOne.com.
Hi, I'm Karen Hutton. Join me for my new class, How to Make the Most Out of a Travel Location. We cover landscapes, historic towns, and everything in between. I'm going to show you how to get those big epic mountainscape shots, how to carve them up into wonderful bits, how to do macro, how to do intimate shots. I'm going to show you how to capture the essence of a little town anywhere in the world and the people who live there. Come join me for the adventure on my latest class at KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Time to go back on the line.
All right, we are back, and Scott's remoting in from the home studios. So we've got a Ask Us Anything kind of episode here. We've got Dave in the studio. Dave's here. So you're filming a KelbyOne class, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that class.
So I'm doing a class called The Ultimate Typography. Where's the camera there? Doing the Ultimate Typography for Photography course. So it was basically, I covered some of it in Photoshop World last year, but there was more I wanted to teach. And it's just really about how to take images that maybe you don't know what to do with, that might be what I call the stragglers. You do a photo shoot, that you pick your top 5, but you've got 50 on a hard drive. It's like use them and add some typography to it and try different little tips and tricks. It's kind of like a down and dirty, but it's to enhance photographs rather than it be a graphic design class. So
Right.
it's kind of fire up Photoshop, be brave, show you where to get some cool typefaces from, buy fonts, little tips and tricks to do with them, and
Cool.
yeah. So we're
Well, that's a very important class for us photographers, because photographers. One thing I know about us, we can be very good a lot of times at like composition,
Yeah.
framing, and all that stuff. But it comes to design, we kind of fall apart a little bit.
Yeah.
we might fall apart a little bit. Not all of us, but most of us will kind of like go, well, I'll just Times New Roman.
Yeah.
It's just there. Or
Yeah.
Courier. I just
Comic
use
Sans.
it, and then I'm never gonna do any kerning or lettering. I'm just gonna like
And-
whatever the default is, I'm
Yeah.
gonna use it.
So yeah, I show you a bunch of that stuff, how to manipulate type, how to find cool fonts, how to do clip images with fonts, and it was just really trying to throw in as much as I've ever done, because as a designer I'm relying on decent photographs to come. And I think Photoshop World the year before I did a class called Shoot Like a Designer, and it was basically a class teaching photographers how to think like a designer when they shoot.
like provide negative
It's
space.
like, give me
all that
negative
good
space,
stuff.
give me
Yeah.
composition, give me
Yeah.
space to the left and the right. If it's going
Yeah.
to be in a magazine, I want text, because it gets you more work.
No, it is true. I mean, I will intentionally shoot a lot of times for magazine colors
Yeah.
or layouts, because I know that's what will get picked up.
Yeah,
You know?
and I don't want to use generative fill or
Yeah.
generative expand. I want the photograph. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it, by all means, crop it in, but give a designer the bigger picture, because we'll decide. We've got more space to do it. I don't want to be expanding it falsely. I want the original image.
So give a little bit more breathing
Exactly,
room.
yeah. It's not going to cost you anything. It's a digital file, so
Yeah.
while you're there, take the extra
Hey,
shots.
hey, did you hear today's generative fill controversy?
No.
Uh-oh. Wah, wah.
So apparently, now I have not seen the photo, but apparently a PM in the Australian government, they were running some kind of a news article on her, an actual news station, and I guess they needed to fill the area in the story with a larger shot. And so they did. They used generative expand, and they pulled down the image, and generative fill filled in. Well, I guess what it filled in was a sexier version of her. Like it showed like a bare midriff or something. And so when they turned in the article, they go, "Here's the photo," and it was kind of I wouldn't call it racy, but I guess a sexier version of the prime minister, or a member of parliament.
Yeah.
Prime minister. She's MP, not a PM, but she's a member of the Australian Parliament, and so Adobe had to come out and comment on it because the news station tried to say, "Oh, well, it was an automated thing. We really didn't have any control over it," and all. Adobe came back and said, "Oh yeah, you did.
You did.
In fact." You had
You
to
have to
approve
agree it.
Yeah.
You had to agree to that in the beginning.
You had to see it, and you had to agree to do it, and all
And
this.
we
But
even
anyway,
gave you
that
multiple
was
options, so you maybe didn't pick the sexier version option.
There was even another one. I won't name the company, but they had to do a press release because they created a whole series of advertisements for their product, and the image that they used was Gen AI image. So the design community came out and said, "Come on, you're a tool for designers, and you've not even hired a photographer or a designer to come up with this. You've used AI." And they came back and said,
we already
Yeah,
spilled the
we
beans.
talked
We
about
already
that.
spilled the
Yeah.
beans
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, yeah,
I missed that episode.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
say
it
who it
was
was
Wacom.
then? Oh yeah, it was
Yeah,
Wacom.
it was Wacom. Yeah, it was.
But
And
in their
they got-
defense, right? They went to a third-party company, right? And the company said, "No, this image wasn't generated," and then they had to come back and say, "Well, yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
was."
it was.
You
It's
know.
just a weird time we're living in, but at the same time, when we're talking about this stuff, the stuff that generative AI is doing is stuff you could do in Photoshop before. I mean,
Yeah.
before generative AI, you could replace with a sexier version.
Yeah.
Or you could, it just took longer. It didn't take 7 seconds, and then they returns 3 results.
Well, I'll give you a spin on my view on the AI thing as a designer, and I've yet to know kind of ethically where this stands, because how I sometimes use AI is if I've got to come up with a project or an idea, like say somebody says I want a particular image and I want this to be in this location doing this thing. I know I can go into stock and I can find a bunch of images and composite it, but I can actually run the prompt through a generative AI and it will come back with a result of an image. Now, who owns that image, I don't know, but I then use that as a source of, oh, okay, so if I went and got, you know, a fox and a bear and I've got some woods, I let the Gen AI create ideas for me, then I would go and make my own version of it, but it's giving me the ideas. So
that's an interesting way to think about it. Oh, but Dave, so here's what's interesting: that generated image, and a lot of people are you know, I don't know what the word is, but there's a lot of confusion around this. When AI generates that picture, it's not somebody else's picture.
yeah.
It's
It's
generated on the fly.
yeah, from
So that
brand
picture
new
doesn't belong
pixels.
to anybody. It doesn't even exist.
It's kind of
It
doing
looks
what you do.
I know what a giraffe looks like from looking at 1,000 giraffes, and I'm going to create a composite giraffe.
Yeah. So if I then go off and find individual elements and basically remake that image with my own components of my own skill, have I copied someone else's work?
Well, that's what we do.
No, it's no one
That's
else's.
what we
Yeah.
do. Like,
It's
that's
a
what humans
robot.
do. Like, all they've done is teach a machine to do what humans do.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
we iterate or we remix other people's stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So you've seen over your lifetime all these different designs and all these different elements, and you can bring it in.
Yeah.
AI's doing the same thing.
I'm influenced by it.
It's and then now you're just using it in the reverse, where you're using AI to influence your design.
Yeah. So especially like, you know, if he's doing an album cover or something, I remember someone said, when I told them this, they said, oh no, but every time Adobe generates an image, they store that image because they want to see how we're using it. And so if you went and copied it, they would say that you're copying the work that they generated for you. I said, well, they can't do that because am I copying someone else?
Well, that's
I'm just using
that's
it how
the gray area.
Yeah.
You know, when you started getting copyright, and then you start getting the at what line are you crossing to where you're infringing on somebody else's art?
And because it's brand new pixels, I'm just like, well, it's a really good tool. It's a good way of just trying to ideate something if you want to just see, I wonder what that looks like, because the prompt thing is like explaining to someone that really weird dream you have.
Yeah.
And then every AI image that came out was a gorilla on a purple horse on the moon just spinning a basketball on its finger, because it's like, yeah, I had this really crazy dream. That's what all the original images were like.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about this, Dave, is like if you see an image that you like and you don't save it, it'll never generate that same image again.
No.
Yeah.
Like it's a one-off. So that's a weird thing about this whole thing. Like you say, all right, let's try. You know, every time you hit generate, it makes 3 new images.
Yeah.
If you don't save that image, you delete that layer and start again, and you go, I really like that one from earlier.
It's gone.
Uh-oh.
It's gone. Well, hey,
I mean,
we
you can hit undo to a certain number of extent, but if you close that document and type in the exact same thing, giraffe inside a parking lot, a Walmart parking lot, and all, you'll never get the same giraffe, and you'll never get the same Walmart or the same parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, we got questions coming in.
Yes.
And we got one for Dave here. And will Dave talk about the new default Office 365 font that Microsoft is introducing?
Well, that's a really funny question, because I didn't know about this. And yesterday I can't remember, I was somewhere yesterday. I was in the hotel. Somebody was talking about it, and I heard them say about the new default font in Microsoft 365 has changed, because I know in Photoshop, if you don't change it, it's Myriad, or it used to be Times New Roman. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because you can change it in a click. They're just going to give like a general average of people a reasonably good, like Calibri was in Word. If it's doing a job, I mean, it's not a bad font. It's only if they start using awful fonts. But I need to have a look at it because I don't really use
the name of
365 that much.
Aptos. Aptos.
But I don't know what it looks like yet.
Yeah,
but I can imagine it's probably quite a bog standard.
You know, it is a standard. I mean, it kind of looks like it's replacing it's kind of like when you go from like one to the other, and it's not like a big difference.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like another version of Lato or something.
Exactly.
Like a friendlier Helvetica is what they usually choose a friendlier looking version of Myriad or something, because that's what Myriad is. Myriad is a friendlier, more casual version of you might say of Helvetica. Everything is a version of Helvetica. It doesn't have serifs. It's a friendlier version of Helvetica.
My favorite is Futura.
Futura.
That's my go-to Futura. Yeah. Classic.
I love Futura. I especially love Futura Light.
I love Futura Bold.
So is that your
I like
favorite
extra
font?
bold.
Is
You
that
put
your
those two
favorite?
together,
Or
and they're
favorite,
really
like
lovely.
general font.
Yeah, I would say if I'm doing any kind of design work, I like that mid-century kind of classic old school look, and Futura just fits the bill. So I tend to start with that and then work around it. Helvetica's good, but I do like Futura.
There you go.
Well, we've only answered one question, and we're like 43 minutes into this
right?
broadcast. At some point, we should take a second question. I just feel like it.
We should. And we've got a question here from Graham, and this one probably, it'd be something that I think, Scott, maybe you address, and I could address too, but on sky replacements, do you import RAW or JPEG images?
It won't take RAW. You have to do JPEG.
It won't take RAW?
I'm not sure. I don't think it takes RAW.
It will take RAW.
I'll try it. I got it right here. I happen to have Photoshop.
I've imported RAWs before, but I'm more like I want the process. I like the process JPEGs because the RAW is a RAW file.
I was gonna say, why would you use the RAW?
So what I'll do is I'll edit my
I
RAW.
thought it did not do RAW, but I'm looking.
I think I tried it the other day.
We're
and
gonna
it
try
worked.
it.
Yeah,
we're gonna try
now,
it.
I could be wrong in that it takes a DNG. It will take a DNG, maybe not a RAW.
Oh, that could be. Here we go. Let me
Yes,
just.
it's
I'm
probably
trying it
DNG,
right now. Give me one.
Because I think I have a lot of files converted to DNG for noise.
Let's import let me import an image. Hold on.
You would think if you've got
Let's
a
go
file
grab
format that's
a
highly
raw
used, you
image.
allow it to be used.
But
It's like HEIC on the iPhone.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure because some of my sky replacements that are night sky replacements, I have converted to DNGs because I've done noise reduction on them, and I'm pretty sure that.
Well, let's see here. I can see right here. Hold on. Yeah, looks like it'll take it. Did it do it?
But I guess you've then got to do
Yeah, it took a
editing
RAW.
on the sky.
I wouldn't do it RAW.
I would.
But
I think that's what it come down to is you can do it.
Yeah,
but
it does it.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because the reason being is you're basically importing. Oh, look at then another on my screen. I'm working on
I want a good sky. I want a sky that's processed.
So
now I guess if you were starting, you could make the case, I guess, Eric, if you starting with a raw image and you hadn't done anything to it.
Yes.
And you wanted to replace the sky from the very beginning and then tone the whole image separately, I guess you could do it. I don't do it.
I mean, because I'm usually toning the image and then being like, I got to replace the sky.
Yeah.
So I want a sky replacement that's already been toned to kind of my look as well. I don't know.
Yeah, so I have a whole folder. I have many, many folders full of clouds, and they're all in JPEG, and they're all ready to go, and they've already look kind of good. So to answer your question, I use JPEG. I didn't even know it supported RAW, but I probably wouldn't use the RAW anyway. I would want to bring in my final, ready to go.
Yeah, and that would be my answer too. Is I always I import the JPEGs after I process them to. I have like a standard look that I have from my photos, and I kind of process my skies the same way.
Do you have to color correct afterwards anyway, as well?
Yeah, well, that's what's
does.
nice about sky replacement is it allows you to like even change the color temperature of your sky in the panel, and then actually also apply color correction to the foreground based on the sky.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you can do all that stuff. So as long as you have a general toning to your image, I think you're fine. You don't need the high resolution or like, and really I'm putting in high resolution JPEGs.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine as long as I'm not going to do like major processing. So anyways, all right. Well, Jason's going to cry if we don't take a break. So we've got to take a break.
Wow. He's bullying him.
So we'll be right back after this break.
Oh, God. Is that Dobson on the jib?
Dobson on the jib. Oh, my gosh. We lost.
Oh,
It's
Dobson.
lost. It's lost.
Imagine what your life would be like if everything in your Lightroom world was organized. Like you knew where your photos were, all your photos were together, everything is right where you want it, and it's easy to find everything. And Lightroom is running really fast, and everything is just awesome. Imagine what that would be like. There are people every day, just like you, who are living that life because they've implemented the Slim system. The Slim system is something I invented a number of years ago. It's used by photographers all over the world, and what it is my simplified Lightroom image management system, Slim. And let me tell you, it can change everything for you. Using Lightroom can be a joy, right? And the more messed up your Lightroom life is, the better this system will make your life. And it's easy. It's really easy. I lay it all out for you in this brand new course, and it takes you from the very beginning. We're going to talk about you're going to be fully backed up. All your photos are going to be in one place, maybe for the first time in your life. And you're going to be able to find your images, get to them quickly. It's everything that you ever dreamed that Lightroom was going to bring to you. And I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, how to do it all. You're going to love it. It's going to change everything for you. So come and check out my new course. It's the Slim system, and it's only found here exclusively at KelbyOne.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Seconds left, maybe one.
All right, we are back. We're back, and we're answering your questions. And here, we got a couple questions starting right here. So Marcy and Cindy are asking about the iPhone conference, saying, is it iPhone only, or will Android users get info from this conference? It really is designed for somebody who has an iPhone. The one problem, it's kind of like there is some commonalities between it. 80%, 90% of the information, yeah, is totally relevant. But where you're going to get frustrated is in interfaces and apps. The nice part on I have both. I use both. The nice part about Apple, I will say in general, is their stuff is standardized across everything.
Yeah.
Where, a Google Pixel versus a Samsung, totally different buttons, totally different layout. You're going to get just frustrated if I showed you on one or the other.
Yeah,
so
from the photography side, it's photography. It's the same as, shall I watch this conference on photography because I've got a Canon?
Yeah. I mean, like 80%, the fundamental stuff does not change, but the interface stuff does. And it really does dramatically on the phones.
Yeah.
It really does dramatically. So it really is designed for somebody who, has a iPhone. And what's great about it is if you have an iPhone the last, basically a while ago, you're going to be able to get a lot out of it. So,
Yeah.
there you go. So Brian's asking, he's in Germany and he doesn't speak a lot of German. And it's basically asking, I don't have a big Instagram or Facebook following. Where's a good place to have my photos critiqued in English? I mean, I get, besides you can submit them to the grid. That's one place you can do it. But what would you say, Scott, is a good place to get your photos critiqued?
There are people that actually charge money and do critiques. Like they can charge and you pay and etc. That's out there, and you can find those on the web. And they're if you search in Google US, that's all you'll find is people that speak English that do it. But yeah, there's ones that they're literally a pay for play. They'll say, hey, a portfolio review is $150 and it's a 30-minute review or whatever. And so there's a number of those. You just have to search for them on Google and there's people that'll do them. And
I'll plug another thing, Scott, right? So Scott did a cool course in our Photographer's Fast Track, which was how to critique your own work. And that's a great starting point, right? So, because the one thing is, I understand a lot of times you do want other people to look at your work, but one of the things that we as photographers can do is learn how to actually critique our own work. Yeah. And Scott's class in our Fast Track, which everybody can go sign up for. In fact, I think that promo that we were talking about last week is still good. It's that website, kel.by/offer, and you can get in there, take that Fast Track, and one of the courses in there is how to basically self-critique. Because I would say to start there, because then if you get to the point where you can see all those things that we're seeing on the grid, then when you go to pay somebody to critique your work, at least you've taken that kind of next step with it.
Yeah, because even when I watch those episodes, it's interesting that even I see stuff, and I'm not the photographer, but I kind of know what Scott's going to say. I know what you're going to say, and you can look at it, and it's very much that: is it a photograph or is it a snap? Does it, like when Scott will say, that looks like you took it on your phone. You were literally walking
snapshot,
through, snapshot, and it's that thing of who's telling you. I don't mean this to sound bad, but I think there's a lot of people who do things that are being told by people who aren't qualified. Oh, you're like Auntie Doris will tell you you're the most awesome photographer in the world because you took a picture of her cat. Yeah. But if you let that become your best work, you'll never learn. You won't know how to critique. You won't know what a good photograph is. Yeah. So I think it's quite good. My favourite ones are the ones, like if it comes on, you go, that's an amazing photograph, great. I like the ones where you pick it apart and go, well, because... you should have got lower, you should have got higher, you've too much of this in the foreground. But you should be able to see that yourself.
Yeah, I think learning that. Another place that Jerry pointed out, which is he's spot on. We have a whole thread in the KelbyOne community that is all about critiques. And it's a great thread because people will get in there and actually, what it is people that are looking for other members to say, hey, just give me your honest feedback. And then the progression, and what's great is I'll see those threads, and then the person will take the advice, come back and say, hey, what about this? And it's improved, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, it's all about that improvement. All right, so Philip's asking a question. Could you give an overview of the editing process you recommend? That is denoise, Lightroom, Photoshop, Sharpen AI. What is the best sequence? I think there's a lot of confusion on the order of operations at which you edit. I have my way, and I know Scott has his way, and I think our ways are very similar. But what is your way, Scott?
If there's noise, and it's got to be pretty visible noise for me to even mess with it, it would have to be really distracting noise. Then I will denoise first. I do all of my edits, and at the very end, I sharpen. And that's a pretty easy thing. It's just the one thing I would say is that the noise thing is not very often a part of my workflow. I have to be doing like night photography or really low light photography with a lot of noise, so I'm not on a tripod. So like, for example, Mr. Kuna and I did a workshop in New York last year, and we're shooting through a glass window, hand holding at night, scenes of New York. And, when you get the exposure where you want it, it noisy.
Yeah, I think
But
you were at like
that-
25,000, right, or something like that.
Yeah,
or
but that was the
20,000.
only ones that I used the entire trip. Like when I use noise reduction, I do it at the very beginning. But I would say, to simplify it, my workflow is this: I edit my photo, and then at the end I sharpen it. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but that's the order. But if it's noisy, then I add in one step: noise first, then edit, then sharpen. It's always sharpen last.
And I'm the same way, and it's the same conditions that Scott's talking about. I tend to go with the first workflow more because I shoot more Milky Way night photography, so I'm running my ISO up, so I'm wanting to remove that noise, so I do that at the raw level and then give me back a raw and then start processing. But most of the time when I'm shooting and there isn't noise, I'm just editing in Lightroom because Lightroom is non-destructive. I'm letting that, and if I need to noise reduce, there is the new noise reduction right inside of Lightroom that is really pretty good for that general noise, like that ISO 800, ISO 1000 kind of noise.
It's almost like it's harder to take a bad photo now.
It is. It is much harder, but and the workflow has become simpler again. But it is denoise up first if it is egregious. If not, edit, then and then sharpening at the end.
Yeah,
that's it. Easy.
That's
Easy
it.
Peasy. All right. Dean's got a question here. I hear you say from time to time removing objects from a photo will not is not allowed in certain situations. In what situations, and how will they know if it's not allowed to delete items in the photo? I think
that's certain photo competition.
Yes, and I think that's when we're talking about removing
and
stuff.
Journalistic.
Yes.
So if you're shooting for a newspaper, you're not allowed to remove anything. Like if you're shooting for a newspaper, you're supposed to show what the scene was really like. You're not removing anything. But there will be photo competitions where they ask you, disclose what you did in Photoshop. Did you use Photoshop? And if you did, what did you do? And I just had to recently do this in a competition I did, and I told them what I did. I tell them, they're not like, oh, nobody uses Photoshop. Everybody uses Photoshop. They just want to let you know what you did. So if you were to say, I added that flock of birds up in the sky, that will weigh against whether, you know what I mean? It's if you add incredible things that weren't there, if you have an empty sunset, and you add a pirate ship, it's not like, wow, you captured an amazing moment. Nope, you just dropped one in. Now, could we have done that before generative fill and all that? Absolutely. You go to Adobe Stock, you find a pirate ship, you hit select subject, you copy and paste it in, and then you match the color. It's like, yeah, it's a done deal. So we could do that before. It's not something new and scary, but it is something that they will ask you to disclose. Now, you can lie about it.
Yes.
So
there's
if you
an
want to
ethical
cheat,
quandary here. Yeah.
But I don't think you should. I don't think it's good. It's bad
either.
karma. I don't think you're going to lie and win a lot in life. I think you got to just tell the truth. And
I know what's hard,
that's a
Scott, is
good
you
thing.
see how many photo competitions. I think where people are getting kind of jaded to that is they're seeing so many photo competitions but see, this is the thing. It usually comes out in the end.
Yeah.
And we're seeing many photo competitions where, that animal can't even be there, and then it wins this big award, and it's like, well, wait a minute, like
there's no giraffes in Swindon.
Yeah, you can't do that. Or one in my space, it was like, that Milky Way is not even real. Like this constellation is over here, and National Geographic's like, oops, and then the person's like, oops, I had an intern do it.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
remember
like, come
that
on.
one.
You know what my problem is?
Come on.
My problem is this. I'm entering an image from 2 years ago, and I can't remember exactly what the hell I did.
It does
I'm like, did I remove something? Was there something there? Like, I don't remember. Sometimes I just don't remember. And it's not that I'm trying to conceal it. I'm just trying to remember. Like, did I remove something? Were there more people in this photo when I removed them?
Yeah, but
it's like,
Scott,
I have to go back and find the raw photo and compare it because I don't remember, or I just don't remember that I did it at all. Like, I see the photo, I don't remember what I did to it. I'm like, oh, I sharpened it and whatever. I could send it in and then realize later, oh crap, there was 3 people in this photo and the one I sent in only has 1. So it's That's one kind of mistake.
Yeah, but that's because
The
you're
other
so
kind of
good
mistake
at.
is
That's
where
because
you
you're
know
so good
darn
at
well what you
Photoshop. You
did.
can do that. Yeah. I mean, most people you'll see their Photoshop work, but that's what's hard is 2 years later when you realize I can't even tell my own Photoshop
Well, I remember.
work.
I won't name him because he's kind of a friend, but there was this guy that submitted this same photo over and over in these competitions, and when you look at it, you think that's a really cool shot to get. Obviously, there's people in it, and there's a location, and it looks like it was taken on site. And this guy entered photo competitions all over the world and was winning awards. And it was only after about 3 years, after he was still submitting the same photo around the world, that I found out it was a competition. He put it together, and that just felt like that felt cheating.
Yeah, you didn't feel like it was that good of a photo anymore. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing about composites. But we do commercial composites for a reason, right? Because we can't be in that location or whatever. But to turn around, you know what it is? It all becomes murky in two situations. Number one, you're entering a contest, or number two, you're shooting for a journalistic. You're passing something off as it really happened. It's news. So those are the really only two awards that
All right. Well, we do have to take a final break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll have the any final questions we have, as well as the prizes. We'll have to give away some prizes.
Oh, look at this jib! What's with the jib today?
And then Dave got to get on that.
We got to
train.
send Dobson to like a jib class with Juan.
Oh man, now it's
Juan
going
is
everywhere.
a smooth king.
Look at what's happening. Oh, it's falling apart.
Oh, this is painful. He's going to be replaced.
All right.
Hi, my name is Eddie Tapp. Please join me in my latest class at KelbyOne with special guest Larry Becker, who's going to show you how to set up the gear. We have a lot of fun photographing jewelry, photographing yummy cupcakes, and a beautiful model, doing portraits and some creative work, and we just had a lot of fun with a lot of assignments using the Platypod equipment and the lighting equipment. It's just been a great day. After 50 years in the photography business, when it comes to photography, I approach each assignment trying something new in lighting, composition, and fusing old techniques with simple and innovative ones, and then reveal the final image in post. I'd like you to come and watch this super cool bicycle concept we worked on. And I'd love to have you follow me as we discover so many different ways of using light and composition, using the Platypod tools, and more to create imaginative imagery. And as an added bonus, Larry T., the inventor of Platypod, is going to show you the latest inventions. Come and join me exclusively on KelbyOne.com.
I am a portrait and wedding photographer based in Valencia, Spain.
I do mainly commercial and editorial photography, and I retouch up to 100 photos a month.
We shoot almost every day for all kinds of clients, such as commercial, beauty, and fashion. And we retouch our work more often, like every other day.
I used to spend over 1 hour for one photo.
If we want professional results, we must remove skin blemishes, do micro dodge and burn, highlight eyes, whiten teeth, and even reduce wrinkles in clothes. And this can easily take me up to 2 hours of work for each photo.
So when I saw that there's a plugin for Photoshop that helps you retouch quicker, I was eager to get my hands on it.
I read many feedbacks about it, and I found a lot of positive reviews, which made me to consider buying my first plugin.
One of the challenges we have at the end of a session or wedding is to achieve an edition in our photograph that looks natural. This is where retouch for me has become a game changer.
I love the feature that you can pick how much effect it has on your photo, and you can adjust it accordingly to your style.
I saved a lot of time and always end up having amazing result with my work.
I am extremely happy with the quality.
Now I am more efficient and have more time to spare with my family.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
And we...
Hey, there's the jib. Oh, look, it's coming in. Maybe. It's going out. Let's see. Oh, there it is.
It's like
Perfect.
It's like in
Perfect.
Star Trek on the bridge.
Oh, and now we got Scott's playing Guitar Hour here.
Dave and I were singing Should I Stay or Should I Go?
And we don't know.
No. Because of
We're just
jib work.
unsure because of jib work. We shouldn't know. Should we stay or should we go? We're not sure. I
think we should go. That jib work is it's
All
brutal.
right. Joseph's got a comment, and he's asking anyone getting seasick over Dobson's jib work. All right, and then I got a question here from Loretta Scott.
Lotta's
asking. Currently using Lightroom only, but looking at On1 Photo RAW. What are your recommendations for purchasing this program? Purchase the latest and greatest just as a plugin? Any suggestions? Like, okay, so if you're using Lightroom, you're like, oh, I'm looking at On1 Photo RAW. Should I use it as a plugin? Should I switch? What would you do?
Well, it's kind of interesting. So you could say that On1 Photo RAW is designed as a replacement for Lightroom. But here's what I like about it. I already am using Lightroom. I already know how to use it. I'm fine with it. However, it comes with like all the other plugins built into it.
Yep.
Like it has no noise. It's got the sharpen. It's got the portrait. It's got the keywording. It has all the other stuff in it. So if you use it as a plugin, it's got all the stuff. It's just I don't need it to do the stuff I already do, right? I don't need it. But it's very interesting in how it has all that other stuff. So you can use it as a replacement for Lightroom, and then it's just it's like it does the sorting and it does the develop module stuff, but it doesn't do it like vastly, different. It's very similar type of thing. It organizes your photos and it edits them, right? But all the other plugins, it's very intriguing that they're all built in. So I do like that. So it's if I was going to use it, I'm going to use it as a plugin. That was how I would use it, as a plugin for Photoshop or a plugin for Lightroom.
Yeah.
I don't need it as a standalone. So it's
That's how I use it.
I don't know if
too.
that helps.
Yeah.
But
that's how I use it too, because of the same reason Scott's talking about. It's where you get all kind of little bells and whistles. Because there are stuff that I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'm like, ooh, I like that. So, I know, like us, like effects. You might go over there and pop over for
or the
effects,
sky replacement.
Or sky replacement. You just pop
Their
over.
Sky replacement is better than Photoshop's.
Yeah, they even got reflections.
I prefer
stuff.
plugins because I'm already using Photoshop or Illustrator.
Yeah.
I want the things to be attached to it, so I'm working in the same
It's hard.
thing. I don't want to go elsewhere.
I'm so deep into Lightroom that it would be hard to.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so
it's like
deep.
it's kind of the basis of everything I do. So, but I do like their plugins.
All right. Well, I'm being told that y'all can stay, but Dave's got to go. He's got to go catch an Amtrak.
I've got to finish recording my class.
But hey, we got some winners here, right? So winners for the prizes. So how do I do that in Photoshop book is going to Dan Steen. And then we've got Photoshop for Digital Photographer's Book is going to Bob Freschetti. Freschetti
sounds good.
I would say Freschetti.
Like machete.
Yeah, I would say that. And then On1 No Noise 2023 is going to Rolf Hartbrick. And then Retouch for Me going to Marcella. And then Platypod Goose Nest are going to Diane Bandipute, I'm going to say. And then I'm going to have the V flat is going to Deborah Marcello. Macaldo.
Yeah.
Macaldo, Masaldo, Tomato.
Debra.
All right. So just email us over at gridprize@kelbyone.com and we'll verify information, send out your prize. Please do that by this Friday, please.
If you don't, I get them.
Yes. We'll send them right to Dave over on his Amtrak.
Send them to Dave, the non-photographer. All right.
Well, hey.
I want to try something. I want to try something real quick. It'll just take 30 seconds, so Dave, you will not miss your beautiful luxury Amtrak experience. But go one up on the guys. Like, take me off camera. All right, I'm going to try something. Okay?
All
right. Don't
We're
just
waiting.
stay
We're
on
waiting.
them for a second. Just for a second. I'm going to try something different.
And while we're waiting, too, Dave, where can they go learn more about you?
They can find me at www, because everyone has to still say that. It's Dave Clayton. So you have to put the ITS at the front. So it's daveclayton.com. And then it's Dave Clayton on all social media.
Is that because there's another Dave Clayton
That's
on the
because
world?
I couldn't get Dave Clayton.
Somebody stole your domain.
I know, there dared to be another Dave Clayton. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah. Well, I like the background on the other one.
background.
You know, because then we're just looking at a door. But, you know, I like the lighting is what I think you're talking about. So
Yeah, I was trying to get something better here. It's like, I don't have to do this from my house very often.
There's a chair with with the jeans on it.
There's my jeans.
So that means he's not wearing pants.
Where's your pants?
I don't wear pants for broadcast, even on the grid. Even when I'm there with Erik will tell you. Yeah, I'm nude from the waist down, always.
Yeah, that's great. Look at all those guitars.
Oh, there's 18 in this little room here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is a disease. It is a disease. So.
It is. But what if I went? Well, forget it. Trying to get those two guitars to be the foreground.
There you go.
Like that.
Yes.
I'll work
and at
on
this
it.
point, at this point, Jason is crying in the control room at this point. But so there's your website over there.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's ITS, DaveClayton.com. And if you're Dave Clayton of DaveClayton.com, give Dave Clayton your domain.
I don't even think he uses it.
Don't even use it. Come on.
But yeah, it's stuff
All
on
right.
there. It's like
Scott's
I'm doing.
Scott's going to go get dressed.
Yeah, I got to get dressed, guys. Dave, it was lovely seeing you.
It was lovely seeing you. So close.
And you're a lovely
and yet so far.
You're a superstar.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear about your train trip.
Yes, we need a remote update next week
this
on
will
this
be
one.
text when you get there so we know you're safe.
Yes.
3 rings.
And I'm also anxious to see your course. I'm anxious to see that. So
Yes.
that'll be great. And it's something
so
we definitely
please
need.
do
so.
behind the scenes of the $10 train.
I'm
ride.
going to take video.
Yes,
I'm going to take
we
video
need
and post it on
we need
social.
a $10
definitely.
train live behind the scenes. Yeah, I want to see what that gets you. Because it's obviously going to be a step up from Greyhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you'll get to do a stop in Lakeland, Florida, which is, it's a place.
It's a powerhouse.
Well, it's a 2-hour train
Powerhouse,
journey for a
Florida.
1-hour drive.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for having
you,
me.
guys, for letting me Skype in today.
Yes, thanks for joining us, and thanks everybody for all the questions. And we will see you next week here on the grid.
Yeah. I'll be watching from Swindon.
Yeah, we'll get the Dave Clayton
Swindon.
update.
Swindon, baby.
Swindon, baby. It's sweet.